Hey y'all, this is Emily Ryan, and I have a few minutes before I'm walking out the door to go to an event today. And since I have makeup on already, I figured now is as good a time as any to do a video. And so I wanted to talk to y'all about something that has been on my mind for a long time. And it's something that we don't talk about a lot because maybe we feel like we're the only ones that this affects. But I've been in these shoes before, and if I've been there, I know now that if I've experienced something, I'm not the only one. A lot of y'all have gone through this as well. And it's going to church and not having friends at church. Have y'all ever experienced that? Maybe you're going through that right now. Maybe you're in a different phase of life, and maybe your friends your security network has split up, maybe because of just phases of life changing. Maybe they're all becoming moms and you're not, or maybe you're becoming a mom and they're not, or maybe people are retiring and you're still working, or vice versa. It's just a lot of things can cause this to happen. But it's never fun when it does. And so you go to church and you feel alone and you feel like you have nobody to talk to, and you want to be able just to call somebody on the phone or send somebody a text, and you don't have that in your life. And so how do you fix that? How do you actually go about making friends at church? And I've just been brainstorming what's worked for me in the past. This is not an easy 3-step plan because friendship is organic and there's never a perfect formula to make somebody be friends with you or to be a good friend to somebody else. There are ways to help, but there's also chemistry involved. And these are just some things that have worked in the past for me, and I thought maybe they would work for you as well. So the first thing is joining a small group. If you have never joined a Bible study small group before, that can be a very, very good place to meet other women and to form very deep friendships over time. It's not like you go in the first day to a small group and suddenly you're BFFs with everyone and you're telling each other your deepest, darkest prayer requests. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. But over the course of a semester, you get closer. Then over the course of the second semester, you get even closer. And so this repeated exposure to women digging in the Word of God together brings people together. It just does. You may not connect with everybody in your group, but there may be one, and one is better than none. And so if you have never been a part of a small group, I encourage you to see what is offered at your church and do everything that you can to attend, because if you don't have any friendships, any godly women friendships in your life, this is a huge help. The second thing is starting a group yourself. If your church does not offer a small group of some capacity, start one. It can be in your home, and I know that sounds very, very intimidating, but maybe don't do a Bible study first. Maybe just do it like a book club. That's kind of a little less intimidating. Maybe some more people would come. That's just an idea. Another thing that I have found is asking. If you have a group that you have seen from afar that is already established, like let's say a bunco group, for example. Some women, they have these groups and they've been together forever, and it seems like their exterior is just impenetrable, that it's almost like a junior high clique that you could never be involved in. Have you ever pulled one person aside in that group and said, hey, I just need some friends, and I'm curious if I could be a part of your group. Or at the very least, if y'all need a sub for an event, could you put me on your list? It's worked. In fact, I did this very same exact thing many, many years ago whenever I found myself in this situation. There was a group of girls at my church that looked like they were having a lot of fun. And so I literally pulled one or two inside and said, can I be friends with y'all? And they're some of my greatest friends to this day. It just has worked wonderfully. So don't be afraid to just ask, because cliques are not as cliquey as you might think. It might appear that way, but really everybody just wants friendships. And so if you're willing to come in and partner up with these people and form great friendships, then there's no reason why that couldn't work for you. But the number one reason, the thing that I look back on and have found has worked more often than not, is serving in the church in whatever capacity, however you see fit. Man, I just have thought about all the girls that I've gotten to know because we've done the Lord's work together. There's Mikkel, who is on my writing team for our magazine at church, and we've been writing together, I don't know, 7, 8 years now. I don't even know. But she's a close friend, and I would never have gotten to know her if we hadn't been partnering together on projects, on writing, on a ministry team, and the years and our life. It's just overlapped to the point that I consider her a friend. Vacation Bible School. I have met so many wonderful people through Vacation Bible School, serving in different areas, and it's through over and over and over again. Every year you step up, you try to connect, and you give of yourself as much as you can. And the women who are working alongside you, there's a natural bond that is formed. I've also been on a dance team, and I've gotten to know friends like Lisa, and I've worked in just our 2nd to 4th grade group, and I've been able to work with Cindy and Tracy and all of these women that I cherish who are amazing. And most of them I never would have gotten to know that well if we hadn't served together at church. And so what happens is you're working, you're doing whatever the task is, and suddenly you just start talking about life. That's just the normal thing that happens. You start to feel comfortable around each other, and then for some reason you have a chance to share cell phone information, and you text the person and you say, hey, I know that you had this coming up, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm praying for you. And over time, deeper and deeper, that friendship comes to fruition. Lastly, I would recommend going on a mission trip. This is another way where you are away from the normal church setting. And so it can be just a change of scenery already helps form a bond, because everybody's a little bit uncomfortable as it is because you're outside of your normal everyday. And so everybody's in the same boat. And you get to know people kind of on an escalated, intense level because you are thrown together for almost 24/7, and you have no choice but to rely on each other because there's nobody else around. And that can be a great way to form friendships. So those are just a few things off the top of my head, because I know that we need each other. I know that my friends, I could not do it without them. And I really, really, really rely on them. They are so precious to me. And I know that you probably desire that too. There's other reasons, and hopefully I will tackle some more at another time. But for now, let me ask you, what ideas do you have? If there's somebody out there who is yearning for godly friendships, for godly girls in their life that they can share with, and that they can just kind of strip away all of the fake smiles and all of that and just be real with each other, what would you recommend to her? And what has worked for you in the past? So let's help each other out, okay? It was great talking to you. I've got to get going now, but I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.